What's up, YouTube? We're going to go over the tools you need to start off with to be an automotive technician. So if you like this video, click like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you have any input of tools that others might need starting off, leave it down there in the comment section. So let's get to it because this video is going to be long. Okay, first off, you need some hammers. You need a dead blow. This is just a Pittsburgh 3-pound, pretty cheap, under 10 bucks, to hit stuff that you don't want to damage. And you'll need a ball peen. I believe this is a 24 ounce, not sure. Find the heaviest ball peen you can. I personally like the wood handled ones. This is a Vaughn made in the USA. You can get Husky, Cobalt, whatever. Just find the heaviest ball peen you can. Just for starting out. I believe this is under 25 bucks. Okay, we'll move down here. This is a 1/2-inch breaker bar from Pittsburgh, under $25. I've done a video on this before. Great tool for the investment. You will need a torque wrench for torquing down lug nuts. This is a Cobalt. I believe they resell now for 100 bucks. You can find them, I believe, on sale for around 70. I bought this for 50 bucks back in the day. On sale. Now, what sold me on this versus other brands, now granted, I had no clue about Tecton. Icon wasn't around at the time, so my options were a little bit more limited, but it's a full metal construction. So the collet down here is all aluminum. The handle is knurled aluminum, nice strong grip. Only downside is it is not a flex head. But I have gotten by over the years for this. Also, you may want to look at a split beam style torque wrench. That is another nice option for beginners. Pick yourself up some 1/2-inch extensions, impact rated. I don't know if these are Tecton or Harbor Freight, but they have lasted me quite a long time. And I've ran them through the ringer. They come in a pack of 3 that you see here. Pick yourself up some 3/8 extensions. They also make these in impact rated versions. These are old Craftsman from Sears. I don't believe they're USA made because they aren't USA stamped, but they are the older style Craftsman before they sold out to Lowe's or Stanley, whoever owns them now, which I cannot say I'm the biggest fan of new Craftsman quality. So Tecton makes some good ones. I'm sure Icon makes some decent ones if you're by a Harbor Freight. Lug nut sockets. Pick you up a few lug nut sockets. These came in a pack of 3. You can find a pack of 4 if you're working on Dodges. It'll come with the 22. This is 21, 19, and 17. They come with these nice protective sleeves so you don't mess up the customer's wheels. They're 1/2-inch drive and thin-walled. So fairly cheap. You can find them at your local auto parts store, Amazon, eBay, whatever not. Okay. These ratchets, don't mind the name on the ratchet. These are snap-on, but this style. So this is my 1/4-inch swivel head. Now I love this guy. It's a good size. It's gotten me by. Sometimes I wish I had a longer handle, but just starting out, this will get you by. What's nice about the swivel head is you can turn it this way, run a socket, and use it as a ratcheting nut driver. So really nice. I prefer it over a swivel head or a flex head. I like the swivel head, just kind of the functions of it. Pick yourself up a long 3/8 swivel head. This will come in handy for the tensioners. If you have to replace a belt, you could get enough leverage on there to loosen the tensioner and get down in the engine bay for most bolts. I started off with a Pittsburgh just like this, and it lasted me quite some time. Now it is in my trail box for when I go on off-roading trips. So I still use it. It hasn't broken. I just wanted something nicer as I moved along in my career. 1/4-inch sockets are metric. You will notice most of the tools, actually all of the tools starting off, are metric for me. I do have standard because I bought the master set through Tecton, but I've never used the standard, honestly. especially in chrome. Unless it's on aftermarket where they're using grade 8 bolts and stuff, so aftermarket suspension and all that. But for the general repair, just pick yourself up a set of short and long 1/4 inch chromes, 6 point. I'd go for the 6 point. They tend to grab the fasteners better without rounding them off. Okay, for 3/8, I'd recommend impact over chrome, just due to the fact that you can run an impact on a ratchet, but you can't run a chrome on an impact, or you shouldn't. Okay, not saying it can't be done or whatever, just probably shouldn't. Also with impacts, they are heavier, they're weighted, they're thicker, so you get more nut busting torque out of them, and they tend to work better because that's what they're designed for. They're a softer metal and they're heavier, so they really break those fasteners free. Both these sets are Tecton and they're non-skip sizes, so that's another thing I'd look for. Make sure you're not buying a set. I don't know even if there are brands out there. Probably Pittsburgh, maybe Cobalt, that skip sets, because you can find the similar ones in American sizes. So these are non-skip, full 10 through 19 for the 3/8, and I believe 5 to 14 on the 1/4 inch. Find yourself a impact driver, not an impact wrench. So 1/4 inch impact driver comes with different bits, or you can buy different bits. Screwdriver, this is a Torx on it right now. Pick yourself up with that 1/4 inch and 3/8 anvils to plug in there, and that'll really help zipping off for air boxes, skid plates, any little things that you need to get in there with the screwdriver or some of these 1/4 inch sockets. Now this is M18. If you're just starting off, more budget friendly is the M12 version of Milwaukee, and they usually pair an impact driver with a drill, and that's how I got both of them. I just personally went with the M18 because I'm more into the fab side of stuff, and I was running these things hard every day, especially the drill. So the impact driver was just kind of a bonus for me. 1/2 inch impact gun. Now it doesn't need to be an electric. It can be the air pneumatic one from Ingersoll Rand. The earthquakes are good. Just pick up one that you can afford, but you will need a 1/2 inch impact wrench to bust off those wheel lugs. Okay, getting into wrenches, we got our metric size wrenches, and these are just your standard wrench, nothing too special, but they were the Craftsman Pro back in the day. So the normal Craftsman are a little bit shorter. These are nice chrome finish and a bit longer. So that's something I looked for when I was buying wrenches. I wanted something as long as possible so you can get the most torque out of it. Now I know Tecton wrenches are a little bit shorter than these. I know that because I have a set that are in my trail box. Now, why I recommend just a normal set of metric versus gear wrench, because you need both, but this, you're not breaking any ratcheting devices in here. Also, you can hold a nut on one side and an impact on the other for the bolt and drive it in if you need to put on bumpers or whatnot. If you run an impact on the backside of a ratcheting wrench, you will break the ratchet. So find yourself a Pro Series style of wrenches. I know Sunex makes a good brand. I don't know about Icon. I've seen a lot of videos of them being super soft and just not the best quality for a wrench set, but maybe they've been improving. Some of those videos are a year or two old as of filming this video. Now these are gear wrenches, the second set of wrenches you need. Now this is also metric, and they're reversible. They come with the angle, really well made quality. I don't know if these are the Taiwanese or the China made brand. I believe Taiwanese for the quality I've had, but these will speed up your time significantly. It's a lot nicer grabbing one of these versus a ratchet and a socket sometimes, and makes quick work of any job you're doing. Now, speaking of the length, these are obviously shorter than the non-ratcheting ones, but I want to show you. So these are actually some of the lengths of non-ratcheting ones from other brands, but you can see the length, size difference. Obviously, these are shorter because you got less torque on the ratcheting, and Gear Wrench does not want you busting their ratcheting mechanism constantly. But definitely put in good work with both brands and very happy with them. You will need both style wrenches. If I had to pick one to start off with, I would probably pick the ratcheting wrench and then move into this. Just due to the fact that you could pick up a 3/8 breaker bar, run that on a socket for one size, and run an impact on the other, and a 3/8 breaker bar is cheaper than a whole wrench set. So, as well as some tools that I don't have here at the time of filming, tire depth gauge and brake depth gauge. I believe that's it. You'll need some hex keys. These are just Eklund, made in the USA. Make sure you get a good quality. If you want to, you can splurge on the sockets. They're not too expensive. I believe Icon ones are decent. I'd highly recommend against Cobalt. I haven't had the best of luck, but these hex keys, no problems, made in the USA, fairly cheap. I believe $20 for each. And these are the ball-ended ones because sometimes you just need that little bit of angle to get out the fastener. As you move up in your career, you might want to upgrade to the hex drivers or the Allen, the socket Allens. Metric and standard, you will need both. Okay. Pliers. So 4 basic ones you just need to start off with. I had this whole set was channel locked because they sold 4 for $40 back in the day. That was a great deal. They stopped doing that. But the tips on my needle nose broke, and I've lost my diagonal cutter, so had to replace those too. Just a set of standard slip jaw pliers. The grips fell off, but these will get you by. I don't like the locking ones for new guys because they tend to use those on everything and you mar up a lot of stuff. So these are decent for the price. Just a standard set of pliers. Again, little slip jaw, adjustable. Needle nose. These are Nipex ones. They'll get you by. As you advance in your career, you will find out what pliers you need to upgrade, what pliers you need in addition to just your basics, and diagonal cutters from Tekton. So they're pretty good, decent for $20. Okay, air blow tool. This is a Milton, made in the USA, kind of older style. I know they have those plastic gun styles. This is just what I prefer. Some of your shops may be different due to the, I don't believe this is OSHA compliant, but for me it works. So, panel popper tool. You can pick these up for like $15, $12 from AutoZone, and this is a must-have, especially with the newer cars with all the plastic push pins. If you need to get into a wheel well, undo the plastic push pins for skid plates or engine crown, whatever. Fairly cheap tool, and you can find them at your local hardware store or eBay. Pick up a razor knife or just a normal knife. You'll be opening up a lot of packages, and this is a lifesaver. If you don't have a knife, you're going to realize that you need one really quick. Okay. Tire inflator tool. So this is just a basic, old school one. I believe I got it on a promo, probably from SEMA or something. Eventually, or if you want to start off with a digital one from Astro, that's a good choice too. These are just so cheap, and half the time you can find them for free through promos or car shows, whatever. But you put it on and it tells you your air pressure. So pretty easy, standard to buy, or standard, just, whatever. Here's another tool that a lot of people don't think about a pen. So this is actually a 3-in-1 pen. So you'll need to be doing reports, writing down stuff. If you don't have a computer, if you're stuck on paper, sometimes it's nice making notes. This doubles as a stylus and as well as an inspection light. So another thing that you will need starting off is an inspection light. While you're under there doing the brakes, changing the oil, waiting for the oil to drip out, go in there, check the brakes, check the tire depth, and you'll need a light. So pocket light, really nice. Screwdriver set. Now, this isn't my go-to set. This isn't even what I'd recommend. I'd recommend a Husky screwdriver set to start off with. They're fairly reasonable. This set, I don't know where this one came from, but this set came from Harbor Freight. You can see I bent this actually to pop wire connectors free that I need to get to. But this set I got for free from Harbor Freight, and it's in my trail bag, and I didn't want to pull out my snap-on ones, but you could just do a cheap set of screwdrivers. It will get you by. I highly recommend a Phillips number 2, Phillips number 3, and just check out Husky. Tecton makes decent ones as well. Okay, pry bars. So these pry bars have been through the ringer, old Craftsman, USA made, but these are actually rebranded. I think Lang makes them. So what's nice about these is it does have the striking cap, goes all the way through to the shank, and you can really put some torque on them. They were relatively priced, came in a pack of 3, and you can see I've really hammered on these over the years. Like I said, I mainly worked in fabrication and aftermarket, so cutting off brackets and all that. Got these behind, pried them out, and did some work with them. You will need a big one for ball joints if you get into that, or replacing struts and shocks, just moving A-arms down. So you can find these actually even at Walmart. Hyper Tough remakes them, same handle and everything. Like I said, these are remade by a bunch of manufacturers. Find the cheapest that works for you. They are USA made, but Hyper Tough does sell these. I believe they're under 30 bucks. If you want to spend more money, kind of a waste of money, go buy them from Tecton. Tecton, I think, wants 40 or 50 for them. They're the same thing. Walmart, Tecton, Channel Lock, I believe, even makes them. Lang makes them. Okay, drill bits. Now, working in the automotive sector, you're going to need a good set of drill bits. So they sell those high-speed drill bits and all that, and they're gold. Do not buy them. What you want to look for is a bronze cobalt. So these are Milwaukee Cobalt. They're very expensive, but for drilling through steel, you get what you pay for. And you can kind of tell, I know these look like gold, but that center one right here, you can tell is a darker bronze. So when they're not used, they come out really dark bronze kind of color. As you use them, they lighten up and turn gold. But the cobalt steel style drill bits will last forever on steel. Okay, maybe not forever, but they last a whole lot longer than your black oxide, your high-speed drill bits, and X, Y, and Z sales gimmicks. Those are great for wood, but when you're dealing with metal and cars, find the cobalt ones. Okay, last thing but not least is find yourself a drill. This is an M18. What I'd recommend is an M12. Pit lighter. Like I said, I was in fabrication, so I needed the biggest and the best because I was doing a lot of drilling through steel. But you can find a a drill and an impact driver in a bundle deal with charger and all that from Milwaukee, relatively cheap price. Look for the brushless. That will save you. This has lasted me quite a long time. It's more powerful. I did have the non-brushless version because I was working at 2 places at once, and I needed to drill at both places, so it was just easier to buy a secondary drill. Bought the cheaper one, and you can definitely tell the difference of power between the fuel brushless and the non-brushless. But pick yourself up a drill. You'll need this. One other tool I forgot, you'll probably need some wire wheels. So anyways, if you like this video, click like. If you want to see more, click subscribe. If you have any suggestions for any other tools for new guys, leave it down in the comment box, and see you on the next one.